Jay-Z got one of the illest lines in hip hop. Jay-Z has a lot of the illest lines in hip hop, but the one I'm referring to is, "I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man." So first order of business, I want to shout out Loki. Like, show my man Loki some love. It's like his third or fourth. It's like his third or fourth appearance on the show, and we literally, none of this would be possible. None of this would be possible if my man wasn't back here asleep. But let's touch on the most prophetic, the most profound poet, lyricist in American history. We talking about Sean Carter. Y'all may call him Jay-Z. He's more affectionately known as Hove to a certain sector of Beehive members. He's known Beyonce's husband. But we talking about the GOAT right now. And when Hove said, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man," I didn't catch it at first. When he first said that, I think it was on Diamonds Are Forever remix on Kanye's album. Maybe Graduation. I forgot. But when he said it, I didn't catch it because I was younger. But when I got into my field, and I started seeing how other people operate, more so specifically my mentor, Greg. Like, Greg was the first representation of his own business as an employee. Well, like, so Greg was the first person I saw that I didn't feel like he traded his 8 hours, his 12 hours for a certain wage. And the model that he had, it kind of molded me. So I don't simply just trade my time for money. Like, I am a corporation. I am a business entity to myself. So for example, let's say I'm Tech Guy Hope Enterprise. I don't simply work for a company. I partner with a certain company. And in IT, the beautiful thing about it is a lot of the IT jobs are contract jobs anyway. And I'm gonna touch on one way to kind of maneuver and contract in a second. But you're not simply just signing on to work for a company. You have a particular skill set. So I developed a particular skill set, and this company needs this particular skill set, so they partner with my company, or they pay my company to solve a certain problem they have. For instance, if company A, they're constantly getting attacked. They're constantly getting attacked by either the outside threat or the inside threat, whatever it is. We'll say they constantly have network issues. Well, I heard that Tech Guy Hope Enterprises, they master in networking solutions. So let's hire Tech Guy Hope Enterprises on. Let's hire them to fix the solution. Let's partner and align our business interests with them so they can fix that solution. So when you partner with another company, when another company hires your organization to fix a certain problem, then they check your history. So my resume is my history. My resume tells everything that I've done in the past 10 plus years in this particular area that draws company, that makes companies interested in partnering with me. Other companies reach out to other companies that you've worked with. That's my references. Other companies who have hired me, who have hired my corporation, who have hired my company to do work for them, will speak on my behalf. Just like if Apple wanted to hire a solutions company that masters in development, they will reach out to other companies that have worked with this company. So one thing when it comes to contracting that I want to touch on. So a lot of times it's a job, and you may get reached out to by a contracting company. And I have somebody I'm going to interview that's going to dive deep into this. But They contact you from a contracting company to hire you on behalf of a bigger company to fill a certain role. Well, a lot of these jobs, you can establish your own corporation. You can establish your own corporation and bid on these positions. And when you can bid on these positions and you can hire yourself. And what you essentially did in that moment, you cut the middleman out. So the contracting companies that hire you, they get a cut of what you make. So the job may pay a certain amount. The job may pay a certain amount per hour. And they give you their rate. They give you standard market rate. So you're doing the work. But that contracting company, that parent company, is getting a portion of that money. A lot of times, the larger portion of that money, and they're just paying you this. They're just paying you a certain amount. But if you own the corporation, if you own the company and you hire yourself, then you essentially cut the middleman out and you get the whole pie, opposed to you doing all the work and splitting it with somebody else. And sometimes in the job description it'll tell you that C to C is not allowed, corporation to corporation is not allowed. But I found with a lot of different positions it is, and in a lot of cases you just gotta have certain relationships, or you just gotta talk to people to figure out if it's allowed or if it isn't, or just to get the inside scoop, because a lot of these contracting roles are distributed to these different contracting companies through relationships. So that's a big thing. That's a big thing when you're establishing yourself as a business. You just figuring out, are you willing to take that risk? Are you willing to take that risk of being the contracting company, being the direct employee that the hiring manager goes to when they need a solution? So whenever you're a business, you gotta think about a lot of things. So first off, I recommend that everybody consider themselves a business. And I want you to ask yourself this: if you were a business right now, like you are a business, if you were another company, would you hire you? Would you align your business interests with this company and that company being you? How do you run your company? Like you're the company. How do you run your company? How much education are you providing your employee? You being the one employee, how much education do you provide your employee? Do you take care of your employee? Do you feel your employee is proficient in his or her task? If your employee is not proficient, what are you doing to make your employee proficient? Man, I think when I started thinking like that, it provided a different mind state. And again, I don't hesitate to say it. Greg was the best I've seen at what he does. And he was a security expert. And in many ways, he trained me. He trained me in different tasks, but he also laid a blueprint that allowed me to see all the magnificent things that he was doing and kind of pattern my career style after him. Not necessarily my career path or my career style, the seriousness that he placed on his craft and how he managed his business. Like I recall going through a merger, and not to put Greg's business out there like that, but Greg was so sought after doing this merger that the takeover company had to pay him a significant amount of money for him to stay on during that transition. And they pay him that because of how he treated his business. And that company needed him. They needed his business to continue to be in the field with them while they took over his company, because of the knowledge that he had. And that's one of the more recent scenarios that I can think of. But my biggest challenge would be to sit back and self-evaluate your company. Sit back and see. What are you doing? What is your company doing? What can your company offer? Look at market trends. Look and see the different issues that your company may face, and ask yourself, does your company solve that issue? So bottom line, I would say, like, just reflect on that statement. Reflect on that quote. Like, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. And once you start to look at yourself more as a business than an employee, I guarantee your gains will be significant.